Well, Chihiro, let's see if you have that dog in you. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil. Your fun fact, and doing to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. Another fun fact. I mean, like, come on now. Come on now. It's Kagurabachi time. It hasn't missed, so you know we gotta brace up for it. But let's not waste any more time. I've been waiting too long, and we're gonna have to wait again. It's another 2-week break. I gotta be itching and scratching and minute. But let's not waste more time. Let's hop right into chapter 106, 7 of Kagurabachi. The extreme power produced by incinerating your life force reaches extreme concentrations and turns black. Oh, interesting. At the threshold of death, it glitters with an otherworldly light. So is this just the extreme power produced by incinerating your life force reaches extreme concentration and turns black? This is like the May panel, isn't it? And threshold glitters with an otherworldly light. Interesting. I guess, but like I was about to say, is this the foundation of spirit energy? But we know that doesn't really count burning your life force. Let's see. The Mugatsumi steals life from others and grants it to its wielder. In other words, its wielder usurps their lives and consumes them. Yep. Which is why a lot of people have assumed that Soga's been able to stay so physically strong and stuff like that, because he literally ate 200,000 people! Like, he ate an whole island! Let's see. Thus, the force it commands is darker and more powerful. It is the enchanted blade crafted. So there it is. People were right. I saw this in my comment section a lot. The fundamental difference between a lot of the other enchanted blades, in the Mugatsumi specifically, is that there are no other intentions. Where you could argue that Cloud Gouger or Kumeyuri, and especially something like Tobimune, all three of those blades may have had alternative purposes. And Tobimune definitely. It was literally a support type blade, right? Samura, just being Samura, turned it into like a support DPS kind of thing. Like, for MMO rival players out there, it's basically Gambit. That's kind of what Tobimune is in many ways. For the Mugatsumi, its only purpose was DPS, was being a duelist, was putting out as much damage as possible. It is the enchanted blade crafted to kill enemies. That's its only purpose. So of course, man, that is true. So everyone who called that, you were absolutely correct. That's why there's no greater purpose beyond it. It is simply to. But the interesting thing is, though, is that a blade crafted solely to take lives is so deeply intertwined with life itself. So that's probably a commentary in and of itself, right? The idea that the more and more you focus on the idea of taking life, removing it, you are actually further extrapolating on and expanding upon that. Well, no. Technically, I said that wrong. The more and more you focus on death and spreading as much as possible, the more and more you actually are focusing on life and consuming it and using it to your own ends. That's what the Mugatsumi is, right? It's a blade meant to slaughter en masse, clearly. Well, maybe not en masse, but it's a blade meant to slaughter. But in spite of that, it consumes life. It doesn't just end it. Tobimune consumes injuries and like replaces things. With Kumeyuri, it consumes reality and like remakes it in the wielder's own image. For Cloud Gouger, it doesn't even really like consume anything, it just creates. Meanwhile, the Mugatsumi specifically is built to devour life itself and just reinforce the life of whoever wields it. So that's very interesting that a blade so deeply crafted around death has such a heavy time correlation with life itself. Let's see. It is an enchanted blade crafted to kill enemies. In the true realm where the Swordmaster treads, its power is even more astronomical. A force that obliterated 200,000 lives. Obliterated or consumed. Obliterated or devoured. Obliterated or obtained. Like, is it... No, funnily enough, I'm thinking about this. Is it kind of like a philosopher's stone? For my Full Metal Alchemist heads out there, which is basically everybody. Like, is it kind of like a philosopher's stone in that sense? Where essentially, think of... Ishval. There it is. I was about to say, like, what was that? But essentially, think of how all the Philosopher's Stones are and all the power contained within them is fortified by countless human lives, right? In some cases, literally like an entire nation in order to create a certain philosopher's stone. Is that what the Mugatsumi is like? It consumes all that power and feeds it directly into its wielder, which is what makes its wielder so godly, essentially? In the same way that wielding a philosopher's stone in Fullmetal Alchemist as an alchemist makes you godly in your own right? Let's see. The force that obliterated 200,000 lives. Yo, I will admit though, you want to talk about mileage? I'm telling you, I know for a fact, Sensei keeps this one in their back pocket all the time. Hokuzoto Sensei has this in their back pocket. It's like, I'm going to spam this one Orphle Sword Saint panel in all the different angles. This is the exact same drawing. I'm telling you. Let's see. Force that obliterated 200,000 lives. Uh-oh. Interesting how the butterflies are so tiny as they fly around the tip of the blade, though. Uh-oh. Oh, darn. So, yeah, interesting. So, at the end of the day, even with Akimura being like, Chihiro, stop doing this. Don't make me son you, nephew. He is still, like, he's like, oh, Chihiro, you're gonna be an evildoer? You're gonna get in the way? Big ribs, bro, you gotta fry you. And I think that's the big thing. The one thing I do want to point out, because I feel like I didn't do a good job, because it was such a last-minute addition to the My Thoughts on Akimura Soga video. The thing that makes Soga just wrong, right? Like, I'm gonna put it this way. What makes him just flat out incorrect, wrong, loud, incorrect buzzer noise. I want you to think of the world that could have been if he didn't just slaughter 200,000 people. Think of the world where Rokuhira didn't develop a rational, because I've seen a lot of people, like, code switch entirely on Kurishige. A lot of people are just like, oh no, he was stupid, he should have never steal the blades away. What is he doing? A lot of people definitely went down the, what's his name? The Kasen route, the currently the Kaminabi route. Like, oh no, should have get the blades out and done this, that, and the third. I want you to realize, if Akimura didn't, on gut instinct reaction, slaughter 200,000 surrendered innocent people on that island, the blades would have still been out and about. They would have actually just been war heroes who could have been protecting and reforming the world and cleansing the other. It is literally his fault. Like, the reason he's even being put in this position is because he did that. If he was so truly concerned about justice and goodness and righting the wrongs of the world and wiping out evildoers as he so claims, then he wouldn't have put the enchanted blade wielders in a position that they couldn't have done that. Imagine if Samura had gotten to keep Tobimune and then go and take care of the entire situation that was the Rakuzashi himself. Imagine if the Shinichi wielder, instead of being locked away for 18 years for committing a mass slaughter on people who could be dangerous, just stayed out and, acted as like a living, breathing threat to anything else, and then took care of any issues that the Kabunabi, or just in general, needed taken care of. Imagine any of the sword bearers. That's the thing. The whole state of the narrative is his fault because he followed his gut on an idea. And I think that's the point. He's meant to be wrong just on his face because it's his fault that these things still exist as they do. Because if he, in his right mind, had realized that, I can't just slaughter people en masse for things that they could do, can't slaughter people for thought crimes that they may not even have, then maybe, just maybe, the enchanted blades never would have been sealed away. Maybe Yura would have never needed to be, or attempt to become, the hero that the world needed. Maybe the Rakuzashi wouldn't have gone on for multiple years after its inception. But no, that couldn't happen. Because all those people who had done absolutely nothing at that point, except surrender and be like, please stop slaughtering us en masse, they just had to go. So yeah, like, Akimura Soga's wrong. I don't know, man. I've seen way too much copium for Soga. No, that man's wrong. And even if I will respect his, and the one thing I'll give, I was not even going to say even. The one thing I'll respect is that he is relatively fair about it, right? He's about, like, if clearly if Summer wasn't here, Chihiro was about to get planted. He was about to get potty planted, bro. He was about to get hit with, not the malediction, but he was gonna get flowered. So Soga is consistent at least. It doesn't matter who you are, you will get boomed. We'll see. Huh? And Summer shares the flames. Okay, and the flames are burning. Don't tell me. Chapter 107, this moment. In the realm where the sword master, I'm gonna keep calling him the sword saint. Sword master's fine enough, but they're all sword masters. Let's see. In the realm where the sword saint presides, simply unsheathing his sword continually sucks the life out of anyone in the vicinity. Ah, okay. So that wasn't even him intentionally just like passive AoE draining Chihiro. That's just like a law of nature as a part of his existence now. Alright. That's gotta be a bit awkward, man. But the thing is, though, once he unsheaths his sword, simply unsheathing his sword. So as long as he keeps the Mugatsumi sealed away, then it doesn't really matter. That's presumably why. Okay, so that makes sense. Why last chapter he did sheath the blade and then say, "Hey, Chihiro, remember when you were this big?" Like he talks to him with the blade sheathed away because he doesn't want to life drain Chihiro. But now that he knows that Chihiro is presumably protecting evildoers, quote unquote, he's now like, well, I guess I'm just gonna let it all hang out, and if that drains you out, so be it, little Chihiro. Sorry you got bigger. Let's see. Continually sucks the life out of anyone in the vicinity. Without Mr. Summer Suzaku, we'd already be dead simply by virtue of being nearby. Which is crazy. And as many people pointed out, Summer won a 1v1 this guy. And speaking of, as many people point out, on top of the fact that Summer won a 1v1 this guy, something I completely forgot about, though presumably he's going to 1v1 him without the actual Shinuji. I don't think Summer really thought he was going to beat the Sword Saint in a 1v1 if he was at full power, as he has already admitted numerous times that Akimura was unparalleled. But a lot of people point out something that I completely missed. I thought that Soga last chapter on the fly just whipped out the EI White Purity style. No! He matched Samura's EI White Purity style in a blade draw with regular EI. Regular EI. The man took one look at Shirikai, or Itsuo Shirikai was like, yeah, I don't like you, bro. You kind of whack. In fact, I won't even take it. He's just fast enough to immediately match Samura, the fastest blade in reverse speed, with regular EI. He didn't use any of the amping that usually comes from the EI White Purity stuff. He's just that goated. Yeah, so no, they're gonna beat this guy. Let's see. So this is the power that inflicted the malediction. Yep. At least, generally. Hold on, let me see. Mr. Samura, from where you stand, what is the radius of the area that has been evacuated? Oh, but you know what? That's interesting. Okay, so even still. So he's such a weird... But I get it. Soga, since he is so ironclad in his beliefs, since he does view random innocent civilians of the nation as people who are fine, or people who are good, he doesn't want to slaughter them in mass, so he lets them leave. And he won't let damage go far beyond that point. But he's willing to destroy everything within there because there's no people here. So that's the thing. He is freakishly consistent. It's just that, like, I can't get behind punishing thought crimes, right? Like that's the one thing where I'm like, and not even like thought crimes that he knew existed, like punishing the possibility of thought crimes is essentially what Soga did when he premeditatedly or like pre any action slaughtered all the people of that island. Let's see. But all I have to say, he is asking Samura to like judge the distance for him since he can't, but he knows Samura can, in order to set a barrier limit on their battlefield. Let's see. There's nobody within 250 meters. And that's our battlefield. If you go outside that area, slit your bellies. Darn! He's like, hey, if I don't boom you, you will. One way or another. So, but that's the thing. This is still too early final boss. Because Shiba's got to come in and be like, huh, and grab them out. There's no way. Please don't boom Samura. Please, so many people are so ready for someone to be boomed. I do not want someone to be boomed. Let's see. Interesting, though. He's willing to grant them the chance to fight, even if he's like, you're gonna lose, and if you run, someone's gonna get slit open. Let's see. Okay. Centipede. Oh, so he touches the blade against the ground. Interesting though. He's just like aura farming and flying right now. All right. Hold on, this is a double spread. Oh, I actually hold on. Let me spread this out a little bit. I actually can't even tell what happened. All right. Was that a, I can't even tell. Was that a blitz or that almost looks like I skipped the page here because it looks like, oh wait, no. I know what happened. I get it. It's all coming together. So he touches the ground with Centipede Centipede travels through the ground, bursts the ground up. They both block on reaction as their footing gets destabilized, going into the air. Soga capitalizes, and because this is, oh wait, it's not even just the ground. The ground gets torn up, but they get hit directly by the shockwaves of Centipede, blowing away even the flames of Suzaku. Chihiro's taking massive damage, and then Soga, does he go for him first? Yeah! Soga goes for him first in particular, just to remove him from the fight immediately. He lunges in, upswings, slashes straight through Chihiro. Yeah, there it is. So we can get a glaze. So he slashes Chihiro, but it looks like Chihiro does manage to dodge a little bit. I thought Chihiro lost an arm there, but no, he's still holding on. Let's see. Without augmentation, his space speed rivals Mr. Samura's, with the Shinichi activated. Oh, so wait. So yeah, that's the thing, right? He's already as fast as Samura without using any of the Shinichi enhancements that Yura was using. Now he's able to stack these Shinichi enhancements on top of his already Samura tier combat speed. With regular EI, bro. Oh, he's so cracked. Chihiro, you have so much more to go, bro. Please. Let's see. With Shinichi activated, it's too much to contend with. Chihiro, you'll find a way. Chihiro, I gotta believe Chihiro's gonna have to find a way, dog. At least find a way to live. Let's see. Interesting. Roar. I warned you. Okay. So Samura immediately heals himself with Suzaku. Goes in for Tobibune. Swings. But like I can't tell. Does the sword say duck here? Seemingly, maybe the sword's saying ducks here. Swing. Interesting though that Samura goes for. Oh no! I see. It's a change of angles. So goes for the swing from behind, and he's essentially going to try and decapitate Soga. But let's see. Soga's looking on. You first. Soga, why are you so strong and so cool? As much as, here's the thing. Soga so much fits into that character or that antagonist archetype where I fundamentally disagree with his like actions, ideology, plans, and motives. But he so well fits into this like cool, crazy power thing. It works so well. He's so good. But Samura, please tell me you can summon that back. That's something like you can summon Tobibune back. That should be easy. This should be easy. He only took a hand off. Throw that bad boy back. Yep. Okay. So yeah, he loses the hand, but then he swaps the Tobibune itself for presumably a feather, summons it back to his hand. Samura, please react. I know it's at point blank. Samura, please react. Okay, so it looks like even with Soga being above Samura, or maybe not. It looks like a whole lot more arm gone. Okay, so wait. So I'm seeing the vision here. So he loses his right hand at first, right? Soga lunges in, upswings. Oh, actually no. There's layers to this, right? Because Soga goes in, lightly tickles Chihiro, right? I know he literally tears his entire shoulder open and tears a gash in that. But in this case, he lunges in, he recovers from that. Samura goes in after healing from the centipede that destabilized the ground to take Soga's head off. E-Blade gets this close to Soga's head. This is just a mirror image of the same, well, not a mirror image, but like it is an image of the same shot from behind. Swung directly at the back of his dome piece. And then in response, Soga, instead of intercepting or blocking or anything like that, the sword swing itself with his own blade, he takes the opportunity to upswing on Samura. And note that he upswings him just at the right point he needs. He doesn't take off Samura's whole entire hand. He takes off the good chunk of the hand that reinforces the muscles that holds the blade, taking him to drop Tobibune. Then Samura picks up Tobibune in the left hand, goes in for a swing, but he can't even get the motion off because Akimura's trying to swing on him, seemingly succeeds enough to knock him through a building and remove his other arm. And he's still flying it over. And we're gonna beat this guy? In what world? We actually gonna... In what world we're actually gonna beat this guy? What? Okay, let's see. Simply being near it constantly trains our vitality. Suzaku can just barely neutralize that effect. So wow, it's that strong. It is truly that strong. If Suzaku, which has already been shown to like heal entire building structure that Samura's will is just barely keeping up to negate the effects of the Shinichi. He hasn't even fought in 18 years, bro. This is just the base meta fresh out the box stats, brody. What? Okay. Let's see.
Suzaku can just barely neutralize that effect. There's no power left for healing.
Oh, no. We're going to hope from the bottom of our left big toes that Chihiro still has some Suzaku stored up, bro. Please. Let's see.
There's no power left for healing. The enormous scale at which he fortifies himself and trains his opponents is too immense. My blade can take your life.
I mean, quite clearly, yeah. Yeah, it can. Let's see. Shit. Huh? Oh, okay. Okay, so he lights the... Interesting. So he lights the entire building on fire. All right. Let's see.
With your maximum firepower.
This isn't the voice. See, I'm still so mixed because I listen to the moderate voice, so I still can't do it. So I'm still gonna try this. I'm gonna try the rasp because I still need. I can't settle on a voice for Soga. He's such an interesting character. Let's see.
With your maximum firepower, do you think you can burn me and heal yourself?
Okay, so that's what he's doing here. Interesting though. So he lights the entire building on fire. Though I wonder, is this meant to be? Oh, Kuzono Sensei, my boy, are you a little bit tired? I don't know what it is. There's been but then again, I'm assuming, because I remember hearing there were actually leaks this week in spite of, or like last week, in spite of us being on break. I do wonder, because, though admittedly, Shiro Uzuzaki Sensei of Each of the Witch fame was fine, art-wise, this week. But it seems here, and in Sakamoto days, the art is it's a little bit unstable. It looks a little bit unfinished. It doesn't seem like this is up to Hokuzono Sensei's regular standard of quality. But then again, Hokuzono Sensei's been doing a lot, so maybe they're still doing a lot. Let's see.
Do you think you can burn me and heal yourself? Ugh. That day, even with all 5 of us, we couldn't stop him. He stopped himself once and
So Samura, when he said he was going to beat this guy, he literally meant when he was unarmed and defenseless. There was no way he actually ever planned to defeat Soga. They didn't even beat him then? He literally turned himself in. Dog. It's over. So yeah, Samura, they need to leave. They genuinely need to leave. Let's say. He stopped himself once the malediction was complete. That is, bro said, all right, ult's done. Wasn't even planning to use it on you. Y'all were chill, but that's great. Maybe, you know what? I thought it was maybe something to do with just the trauma of the war or something like that. No. That's why Natsuki's older brother gave up entirely. That idea that there was such a wall that he could never transcend, that is what probably drained all of Ibuki's fighting spirit entirely, just slurped it right out of him. Where he's like, there was no point. Even when fighting alongside all my compatriots, we couldn't take down one man. We couldn't save a single person there. We were that weak. We were that pointless. That has to be spiritually draining. That's probably what did every last bit of his willpower and fighting spirit in. I mean, I understand why, because that's crazy to think about. And he for some reason, he's only gotten stronger. Just only the summer only got stronger over the 18 years, so it's probably only gotten better. Let's see.
How long?
It's definitely. I think something's up with the art here a little bit. Could be like, because this art looks fantastic, but it could just be maybe the fire effect itself is meant to make everything look a little bit more splotchy, but something tells this isn't complete. Let's see.
How long can you hold out?
Yeah, I actually like this voice for Soga. Let's look at this. Because he does seem very much like a ghost. What? A jar! Oh, so yeah, I was kidding. Jeez. I thought Soga held back on him a little bit. No, he truly gashed Chihiro nearly in half. And Chihiro's literally just stuck laying here on the ground. Can't even hold Enten properly. Jeez. And I was just hoping and hoping that Chihiro was going to save Samura. Let's see.
What ridiculous power at this rate. Mr. Samura.
Oh, and look at that. Because Samura has redirected all his firepower to attempt to just heal himself, ward off the burning, and specifically harm Akimura, the encroachment of the Shinichi is starting once again. He's already starting to flower again.
My mission. We can kill Akimura, not with his eternal contract, but his flaming space we can critically wound him, enough to stop him. Centipede and Butterfly require an internal.
Oh, okay.
Centipede and Butterfly require an interval, and he just used them. If we're going to finish this.
Oh, okay. So he's still. So even with like the clear hopelessness of the situation, he's still like, there still is. It's so crazy though. There's a possibility of a pathway to maybe get rid of him. That's and not even to stop him. We can't like they're like confident. Samur himself, whose whole goal is to kill Akimura, is like can't do it. It's currently an impossibility. But I mean, it makes sense now. Knowing that extra layer of context, they didn't even stop him. That on top of the existing propaganda of the end of the war already that I had fallen for previously in previous reviews, it was even more propaganda that they ever actually took him down. All 5 enchanted blades weren't enough. He just stopped. He literally gave up. He literally just gave up. But now Millie, that's even weirder. Why? See, I don't know. See that unironically, that makes the narrative a little bit more confusing. Why on earth would he ever stop? Why would he say, "Okay, I'm going to stop these enemies," and then just give up on the rest of the nation? Like, why would he do that? Why? I don't know. It's weird. Now that I think about it, as crazy as the detail is and how much it further establishes the current hopelessness of the current situation, I think that may actually have been like a mistake to add. Because at least when he was stopped before, it'll explain how they got him to the point where he could be like in prison, stuff like that. No, this implies that he did all that stuff willingly? But now he's not doing it willingly? Like, what changed? Was he like, oh wow, I actually didn't like being in prison for 18 years, so that'd be cool then, but let me not do that? Like, that feels really weird. That he had all the power in the world. They couldn't stop him when he had all the power in the world. And he had to stop himself. That feels... I'm not sure how I feel about that. Other thing about that as the review progresses. Let's see.
Centipede and Butterfly require an interval, and he just used them. If we're going to finish this, now's the moment.
The issue, though, Samura, one, I don't even think, like, you don't even have... Oh, I do like that, though. That is this... Even if it... Once again, I think the art... This may be... I'm leaning to maybe this is an artistic choice, but the art still does look a little bit incomplete. Samura, you can't even pull out the full EI right now. He's still going to diff you, Samura. Summer, he's still gonna fry you, because if he already relative to your EI White Purity style speed in base, and now he's using physical augmentation, even if you are burning him alive, I don't think this is gonna be enough. Summer, you need to run. It's like, unironically, pull out. This sounds crazy. But game, remove, delete. Now's not the time. Now's not the, like, I know he says slit your bellies if you leave this radius, but no, dog, you need to go. Let's see.
Now's the moment.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. Summer, you don't even have a sheath anymore. You don't have a scabbard. How are you going to use the White Purity cell? Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say the art's just not. But it could be. It could. I can't tell. And I guess that's a good thing. Maybe that may be a mix. I can't. But the fact that I can't tell if the art is done or if it's a stylistic choice is a mixed thing. I feel like this. Maybe the redraw or maybe in the volume this will look a little bit more clean. But interesting. So they both lunge in. They both vanish from their spot. Yeah, this art just definitely isn't done. They lunge in from their spots. They clash. Let me guess. He underestimated Akimura, right? There was an interval for Butterfly and Centipede before, but now there isn't one. Because look at this. Look at this. He goes in and they clash, but Samura's eyes are widened here.
200,000. With one stroke. That's how many lives I took.
Yeah. And you mean to tell me you just gave up? In one stroke? What? Let's see.
With one stroke, that's how many lives I took.
Yeah, that's it. So, wow. Well, yeah, I guess Samura... I mean, maybe we still have a little bit of time, but Samura may just end up dying here. Huh? Wow.
With one stroke, that's how many lives I took. Mr. Samura, you truly are a spectacular sword fighter. Even more skilled than 18 years ago. You surprise me.
But it still wasn't enough. Akimura is truly just a calamity, bro. Like he is truly a living calamity. Very, very much akin to a like real Sukuna of his own verse, where he is just too far. A real Sukuna, Satoru Gojo, just the strongest definitively. Samura never had a hope, even in a realm entirely composed of his own fire. Chihiro, please grab Enten and clutch up, please. Let's see.
You surprise.
But you know what though? I will once again, why I like Soga so much, even if I disagree with him. He is giving his due respect. And even if realistically it's not even due, it's not like Samura did anything to him, but he's giving him his respect. He's like, hey, you're good. You're amazing, in fact. You're a spectacular sword fighter. You're just not me. If Akimura Soga was truly like an absolutely arrogant, beyond all his villain, he wouldn't even give Samura the words. But no. And notably, he seemingly spared Samura enough so he could hear this at all. Because he easily probably could have just diced him in half. But he doesn't. He talks to him, he swings, and he took no damage. Alright, let's see. Oh, alright, let's see.
But it's impossible. You know that. So long as I hold the Shinichi, the Mugatsumi, there's no way you can gain the upper hand. I hold the reins. I will purge this society.
But see, like, now I really, you know what? And this is where I'm gonna have to rely on y'all. I hope that thing earlier was a mistranslation. I hope the thing earlier that all 5 of them couldn't even stop him. He only like let me go back and read it. Let me make sure I read that properly. Though I saw Chihiro Aura farming, so like he did manage to get up. But where is that statement? So I can't neutralize the effect. Immense enemy, blame just take your life. No. That day, even with all 5 of us, we couldn't stop him. He stopped himself once the malediction was complete. That doesn't make sense now. That implies that he was radicalized heavily at that point to his like black and white ideology, but he wasn't like fully switched on to the radicalization. So he stopped himself and then got arrested and then further radicalized himself for the 18 years where he was locked away, which I guess is still possible, but now where before I was like, okay, maybe we just need to gather like a new 5-inch ended blade to like maybe take him down. Because we technically did have the ingredients. Even with Cloud Gouger broken, we did have Flame Bone. We don't know the upper limits of Flame Bone, but that is a supposedly enchanted blade tier weapon. And then all the other enchanted blades are still there. We still have Kumayori. We now have Enten as a replacement on top of the existing... on top of the loss of Cloud Gouger being replaced by Flame Bone, we have Enten, so that's 3 right there. Tobimune, Enten, and Flame Bone. Then we still have Tobimune for right now. Wait, no. Tobimune, Enten, Flamebone, the Kumayuri, wielded by Hirohiko. We have the one that... And then we have 5, the one that Kukuri has. And then there is the 6th one, the one that we still don't know anything about, that was wielded by the woman. So we technically have 6 Enchanted Blades. We have more than we did 18 years ago. So at least under the assumption that they actually beat him 18 years ago as 5 Enchanted Blades, with 6, if they were to achieve mastery, maybe they could have taken him down. But knowing that he just gave up, that feels weird. You could write it off as a character thing, but now that does just feel strange. Well, let's see.
I won't let you.
Samura. Unless Shiro reses you, bro. I don't think you have much letting that you could do.
Starting with you. Spider.
Wait, so Chihiro, is he actually life trading himself now? Did he actually start tapping the... That would be crazy. Did he seriously go down the route of, man, if you can't beat him, join him? Did he actually start taking the powers of the Mugatsumi?
Spider.
Oh! Okay. That's for restraint, though, right? Alright, I see the beads of centipede swirling around him as well here.
Chihiro. Mr. Samura's flame.
And then, you know, I also like that, though. Mr. Samura. Because Akimura is still implied to be younger than Samura. That's the thing. English. Akimura is still such a good character. Because there's still so many human traits to this monster, right? He still refers to Samura respectfully as Mr. Samura. He still gives him that due respect because he's his elder, because he's technically his superior in one way, that is age. So he refers to him as Mr. Samura. He doesn't just say Samura's flames are extinguished. Mr. Samura's flames are extinguished.
He's defenseless.
I love that. That's the thing. He's such a girl. I like Samura so much, man. He's just wrong. Let's see.
Watch from there.
Okay. Is he using Yashiki to amplify himself? Okay. Oh. No. Okay, never mind. I thought that was Chihiro using Spider. No, that was Akimura using Spider to restrain Chihiro. Alright.
Summer's flames are extinguished. He's defenseless. Watch from there.
Okay, so using Nishiki to amplify himself. Walks right out of Spider. Okay.
Huh. He ignored my Spider.
Okay.
After his battle with Samura, Chihiro opened the doorway to Enten's true realm.
Okay. Let's see.
I won't let anyone die.
Okay.
The Mugatsumi's power disrupts all life. Nishiki protect.
Okay. So Samura will have access back to the healing because now with Nishiki active, Samura can focus Suzaku's flames back on healing and not just stopping the encroachment of the Shinichi.
The Mugatsumi's power disrupts all life. Nishiki's protection blocks that.
Is he actually gonna be able to chip the Mugatsumi though? That's the real question. So he does lunge in, and he does force Soga to block. Let's see.
Even at this range, he's unaffected by the Mugatsumi.
Okay, Shiro actually getting a Giga Amp here. I thought he was gonna look. Let's see.
So that's what it is. A sword designed to destroy the enchanted blades, forged to counter the malediction.
Oh, so that truly is Enten's purpose. So if I see the parallel here. If the Mugatsumi, if the Shinichi's greatest purpose was to take lives, annihilate them, and use them for your oneself, Enten's purpose is to truly live up to the ideals of the Enchanted Blades, to protect lives and defend at all costs by neutralizing the blade that can take lives.
Forged to counter the malediction, an enchanted blade to defy the Mugatsumi. This is its mission and its true realm. I'll destroy the Shinichi. Standing before the unsheathed Shinichi for the first time, it became increasingly evident that it was even more specialized to counter the Mugatsumi.
Okay. Alright. I see in the chat. I'm gonna this is it's still a W chapter. It's still a W chapter undeniably. But now I'm intrigued. Now I'm intrigued in a different way. There are levels to it. There are levels to it here. So, overall, the chapter is just gas at the bang, right? Once again, we're further reinforcing everything I've liked so far. About Soga, about Chihiro, about Samura. Just seeing all these characters do everything in their power. Well, not everything. Like, obviously, Soga's still sandbagging. But still, it's cool to see all these characters interacting this way. The only two critiques I do have for this chapter. Only two. Just two slight critiques. Once again, that statement about them not actually stopping him, it's weird. I can like Jimmy Neutron brain blast backwards reverse psychology gaslight myself into making it make sense. Like I mentioned earlier, you could just say in that moment, and I guess it makes more sense than I give credit for. Makes more sense than I give credit for, especially with the idea that Soga, because he's relatively naive and young and just super prodigy pilled, he didn't know at the time that the nation that he was protecting contained so much internal darkness. So he thought, oh, I'm just taking care of the enemy, and the enemy's only the external enemy. There could be no enemies on the inside. So he takes out the enemy. He's then taking out the enemy. Then he's like, fine, you guys can lock me up since you just disagree with me. So I guess it does make sense in that case. He just gave up. They didn't actually beat him. That's fine, but it does make defeating Soga now seem even more impossible than it already felt, which then makes the end of the chapter feel a little bit funkier too. I know Enten is specifically designed to counter the Mugatsumi and the malediction in particular. That's what it's forged for, its purpose, all that. That's all cool. I'm down with that entirely. That makes sense. I still think Chihiro should probably be fried though. Even with him being able to hard counter the malediction, I do think it's a good thing that now Samura doesn't have to worry about protecting them both, right? He can now focus Suzaku purely on healing. He can now fully go into the support role while the Enten wielder Chihiro can now go on the offensive role. But I still think Soga, he's been implied to be too strong, right? I still think at this point, now at best, he's able to stall. I don't think it would make any sense for Chihiro to actually overcome Soga in this moment. And I think if anything, they should neutralize. Like there has to be something that limits both Soga and Chihiro in this moment, right? Because I don't think it would make sense for Chihiro to be able to just entirely override and defeat his uncle at this point, since his uncle is already implied just in base stat wise to be completely above anything that Samura, who still levels and levels and levels above Chihiro, has to offer. So there's that. Those are my only two kind of iffy complaints. So I'm like, I'm not sure how this should go. But like I said, I've already like rationalized, which you may say it's like super good gaslight myself, but I've been able to completely rationalize the idea that they couldn't defeat him, and they were lucky that he was so giga naive at that point that he didn't even think it was possible for there to be enemies inside the nation he was protecting. So as long as he destroyed the external enemies, the nation itself would be fine. So he was okay with locking himself up, because he was like, okay, my ideas and society ideas are different enough, but I'll respect society enough to go away. But now that I'm back out again, I'm not going to respect society anymore. I'm going to do what is right, because clearly the last time I let my foot off the gas, things got even worse, or things are still bad. So now I'm going to take care of everything in his control. That makes sense. That fits into his character development. That reinforces Soga. So never mind. I actually do like that statement now, because it works within the framework that I set up for it, and the framework that the narrative set up, right? So that works. And even Chihiro's countering, it makes perfect sense that this is Enten's true realm, and that the other enchanted blades are like test subjects for Enten. Something to sharpen its edge, essentially, for the Mugatsumi, for the strongest, for the original masterpiece. That's what Enten's counter purpose is truly for. Do I think Chihiro will win? No. I still think ultimately Soga is going to violate his nephew, but now at least his nephew has a chance to survive a bit longer. Do I think reinforcements will arrive? No, but I think we're going to reach a point where Chihiro realizes I have to leave, and Samura realizes we have to leave, and then they're going to have to leave, and or the Hishaku, right? Because that's the one lingering plot point that we still need to address. What is up with Yura now? We know this is Yura's body, but it's also possible that Yura is now in the place that Soga was. Like, they swapped physiology, swapped physical forms. The Hishaku are probably still going to go report to him and be like, hey, yo, what's the word? And then their actions, and then how long Soga is willing to keep this body and keep what's going on, that's going to impact a lot too. So this chapter's still gas. It's still gas, and I'm excited to see how Chihiro's able to handle this, but I don't think he's going to be able to handle it at all. I think he's going to be, or not, he's not at all. I think he's going to handle it well enough that they can live and escape and maybe fight another day, but I don't think it would make any sense for him to overcome Soga at this moment. The other, like, quite minor baby complaint is, like, I think some of the art is a little bit incomplete this chapter, but still, you can definitely argue it's a stylistic thing. And overall, I'm fine with us further establishing how big the gap is between Soga and everybody else. So, overall, a W chapter. If you've been only to this video, please leave the blade that could. The blade that could in the comment section down below. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that little notification bell so you not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also even to have a Patreon below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks include the live reactions to other series I have to review, ad-free variations of all my videos, early ad-free access to all my videos, early ad-free access not just videos over here on the main channel, but all videos for the second channel, that got the reaction, where I drop 45-minute to 2-hour-long live reactions every Saturday at 1 p.m. EST. You get early access, ad-free access to all of those over here as a patron and member. On top of that, if you're a $3 member or higher, you get your name listed and read aloud at the end of every single video, instead of just $1 patrons who get their name listed at the end of every single video. On top of that, if you want to ever chat with your boy live about the chapters of the week or literally anything we talk about all kinds of stuff over on the Twitch that I got the control. There's a link in the description down below. We have a fun time over there every Friday at 8 p.m. EST. We chat, we yap, we game. It's a good time. Then on top of that, if you want to drop 5 beans to a short video, 20 beans to a long video, or any beans at all for the one time to support your boy, any support is always greatly appreciated. You can do it to the Ko-Fi in the description down below. But now, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.
I'd like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Glacier XZ, Zera, Brandon Payne, J2MA, Guillaume, Pura Ura, Enzo, Yuki Ally, Grim, Ollie, Davoy, Corey Watson, Damon Brown, Magic, CCC, Rondo Furen, Dino, Hector Gonzalez, Tim Thomas, Kaving, Julian Perez, Akolade Babatunde, Union I, RXN, Nevis97, Logan Guzman, Dead Meme, Karu Deer, Christian Carter, Keon Stewart, Donovan McIntyre, Mirage, Sino King, Hamza Idrisi, VNA DNA, Edwin Igbinoba, Straw, Atenzi Shear, Antavius Mitchell, Azo2404, Cray Panama, Super Flame Zero, Zapro, Weary Exile, Karina Hernandez, Sheesh King, Window Life, Alex Kenny, Victor Jacobs, Todd, Dre, Axis XE, The Practical One, Aswin Hedi Prasetya, Jayan Day, Kaidai, Deville Pesiet, Landon Clapwick, Heath Nelson, CAET, Funny Dude, and Jagoda. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our line or tier patrons, A+A, Kevin Encarnacion, Sean, Dreadzone, Midnight Lord 21, and CJ. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our Inc tier members, King RTX and Triple the Fourth Shrimp 06, along with Zom. I'd like to give another thank you to our digital art tier members, J Warrior and AZ Void. And I'd like to give a final thank you to our colored art tier patrons, Joaquin Munoz and Joaquin Munoz.